There are some movies where you just know the dog is a goner. In Netflix's The Devil All the Time, directed by Antonio Campos and adapted from Donald Ray Pollock's 2011 novel, a tortured World War II veteran and mild religious fanatic making a hardscrabble living in Knockemstiff, Ohio, circa 1957, becomes distraught when he learns his wife is dying from cancer. His son has a dog he loves, Jack, who does all the right family dog things. He barks when there's trouble, and he attempts to sleep on forbidden soft surfaces, but mostly he just trots with big country dog energy at his young master's heels. In stories like The Devil All the Time, which seek to remind us, repeatedly, that evil is everywhere in the world, ferried through every community by willing human hosts, a dog like Jack doesn't stand a chance. He's the sacrifice necessary to force the story into its dramatic pretzel shape. Animal death in movies can be handled well, or it can be a cheap way to build tension, and The Devil All the Time is so unsubtle about its aims that from the first sight of those floppy ears, you know you'd better steel yourself. Though, to his credit, Campos never goes in for gratuitous, heart-tugging close-ups. The story takes place in two towns linked by bad people doing bad stuff, as well as by decent people just suffering through life until death releases them. Bill Skarsgård plays Willard Russell, that troubled vet, who's originally a denizen of Coal Creek, West Virginia, but who, after the war, makes a new life in Knockemstiff with his cherubic bride, Charlotte Haley Bennett. Their son, Arvin, played by Michael Banks Repeta as a child and by Tom Holland as a young adult, is a normal kid who loves candy bars and comic books, as well as his dog, but you can bet that The Devil All the Time has no use for your typical idyllic view of the 1950s. Robert Pattinson as a bad preacher in The Devil All the Time. Glenn Wilson, Netflix. Copyright 2020 Netflix, Inc. Arvin is a good kid in a dark and murky world, and his story unspools amid a sticky web of misbehavior spun by many, many unsavory individuals, including a camera-wielding creepo, Jason Clarke, an ambitious town sheriff, Sebastian Stan, and, most notably, a sleazy preacher with a taste for nubile flesh, Robert Pattinson. A few innocents, or at least semi-innocents, also populate the story, little dots of light just waiting to be extinguished. There's the drab town sweet pea, played by Mia Wasikowska, and Riley Keough shows up as a saucy waitress who falls victim to a particularly toxic brand of masculinity. But mostly, The Devil All the Time is just a pileup of awful people doing terrible things, for no reason other than to prove how wretched humans can be. The template is pure Southern Gothic, but without the subtlety of top-drawer practitioners of the genre, like Flannery O'Connor and William Faulkner.